Today we will discuss dogs for a situation that is not nice, dire times, hard times, when the shit hits the fan, that type of survival scenarios. And we will discuss three things. 1, the cost. 2, the benefits. And 3, the applicability. And you can consider this for your own choices. Moreover, I will also give you my choices in this matter. So before starting with the benefits, I must say a little bit about the costs, because if you have a dog, it's not without costs, and those costs are not so much financial in that situation, but could of course be when you try to acquire one, but are more directed at the need for food, the need for an extra responsibility to take care of another living being. So of course the bigger a dog, the more they will eat normally. But that being said, small dogs eat more per kilogram of their own body weight because they are a lot more active. So you get a lot more dog per kilogram, but also that is less energy efficient. Another thing is that also if you have a dog that makes a lot of noise or something like that, that could draw attention to you, which is not what you would like to see, especially in an urban environment. It's not a good thing, but also not if you're bushcrafting and, for example, trying to hunt. You will scare off the quarry and also bring attention to yourself. Okay, now to the benefits. So the biggest benefits of having a dog could be different for everyone, but some things will be universally applicable. You have a companion, and for a companion I will also give you my thoughts. You don't need a big dog. A small dog can be as good as a companion. But then if you look at the other things, the 3D so to say, so dealing with threats, the first of the 3Ds is to detect the threats. So you have a watchdog capability for that. Also small dog can be sufficient. Very oftentimes small dogs are more alert, more active, as I mentioned. So this can be beneficial. 2, you want to deter threats. So you want to have a means to de-escalate, because if you don't have to fight, but you have something that makes ducks or, for example, a predator think twice, there's a good thing. For that specific type of dogs are better than others. So for example, a muscle bound strong dog, or a dog that appears aggressive, has plus, and also of course big size. So in that case, a bigger size dog of, for example, bully or shepherd nature would be the best, or a mastiff of course, which is even bigger. Third is to really defend you. So when deterring and watchdog capability is not enough, sometimes also threats need to be dealt with. And for example, if a wolf tries to attack your herd of sheep, you like a dog that would defend and engage with that wolf. And the same way with human predators. So the bad guys, a defense dog. Some people also have attack dogs or military dogs. In that case, a dog that needs to have man-stopping ability, so enough size to deal with a full-grown man and to be able to work it to ground. Many shepherd breeds are at how do you say this? This is at a dividing line. Some shepherd breeds are able to manage a full-grown man, but it also depends on the type of man. Whereas molosses, such as mastiffs, Rottweiler, etc., will easily work most men to the ground. Also special mention for the band dog, a dog bred for that purpose, and also dealing with big quarry like hogs. Another thing to mention is that when that has been said, also dogs can be a source of warmth. In some cultures they are even used as a source of food, but I don't get into that. It should be noted that other people, even if you don't like them to be seen as food, other people might see them as food and will try to hunt them down and kill them for their flesh. So this should be taken into consideration. Another thing that could be of very particular nature, that in some environments a lot of rodents could be there, like a plague, and a dog that can handle rodents is a very good companion, also to protect the rations that you do have, so that rats and other rodents such as mice and the likes. Also you could think about animals that are not so much rodents, like raccoons or raccoon type of dogs, or foxes or badgers, that they will attempt to eat your rations and stock, and also your livestock, of course. And then in that case a terrier would be the best way to deal with that, because they are bred to deal with those predators and also are very good at ratting and killing other rodents. So you have your normal rats, but also sometimes very big rats such as nutria, which are like also called beaver rats, because that's the size of a beaver. And even there, terriers such as the Patterdale Terrier are used with success to handle those big critters. So that could give you some insight. So we have talked about quite some things now, and I also want to end this with applicability, because what good is a dog that you cannot use? So for applicability, you should think about a dog that is healthy, so it can perform, but also has some mental and physical capabilities to perform the task. So many a dog now is being bred as a show dog or a household pet. So working line dogs will be preferred, but also the bigger type of dogs oftentimes have a lot of health problems, such as hip dysplasia and other illnesses. So for example, their muscles tend to rip off around the knee joints, which is of course a very bad thing. Therefore a smaller or medium-sized dog could be a better choice in many a situation, because if you have a dog that is injured, it cannot work, of course. Also, if you have to take care of a smaller dog, so for example carry it, this will be far easier, whereas the big dog perhaps needs to be tied down so that you can come back with other people to take it with you, or and sometimes also the dogs will be left to fend for themselves and die perhaps. So keep that into consideration. Also, a benefit of a smaller dog, in my opinion, is that they mature much faster. So for example, these Patterdale Terriers, before they reach 1 year of age, they already are very well suited for many tasks, whereas those giant breeds, for example Mastiffs, tend to mature up till the age of 2.5 years. So you need a lot more time, and you cannot time when the shit hits the fan, and then you should be ready already, or preferably, and not need a lot of time before the dog can do the task that you want it to do. Another thing is, it's on the other side of the equilibrium. Bigger dogs also age a lot faster. So for example, a massive type of dog usually in this time and age gets to the age of 8 to 10 years tops, whereas for example a smaller type of dog like a terrier can easily reach the age of 14 to 16 years. So that's about double the functionality, especially if you take into consideration that they mature a lot faster, and in relative sense they have only 1/16 or 1/14 of the time needed to fully mature, whereas that big breed needs 2.5 years out of 8 or 10, so 25% or less, or even more of the time is used for maturing. Also, because those dogs age a lot faster than big dogs, when they are reaching the last years of their life, they are not applicable anymore for doing real work. Whereas the smaller dogs, like for example these terriers, can still work at age of 8, 9 or 10. Of course not as hard as they did before, because they will injure the same, and they only have their experience to account for that, but they will lack a lot of the flexibility and the healing power that they once possessed. So those are some things to take into consideration. Another thing what I mentioned, in the watchdog category, you like a dog that barks when there's a threat, but not overly barking, because a dog that's overly barking will have this cry wolf syndrome, so that you don't pay attention anymore. Or the other thing is that because it's that yappy, it draws attention to you that you're not wanting. Another thing is when a dog is very yappy, and for example you have to share a room with other people, they might not like the dog and they will complain, or they throw you the dog or you out. So that's a bad thing in my opinion. Also, while a big dog could offer a lot more protection because of its size and strength, a smaller dog is easier accepted. So if you have a strong dog but you are not accepted to join, for example, a community and in a shelter type situation, or the dog eats too much or whatever, you'll be better off without a dog, because you have to leave the dog behind or seek shelter elsewhere. So a small dog, a small to medium sized dog, has many advantages in my opinion, as you might have noticed along this video presentation. Also, I think that a medium dog might be even better, because it has a lot of the benefits of the small and big dogs combined, and is stuck right in between for the best compromise, so to say. So my small dogs, the Applicability terriers that I have here, are bordering the medium size in my opinion. So the male is between 10 to 13 kilograms, depending on conditioning for muscles or speed and endurance, and the female is about 7 to 8 kilograms, you see on the left. Hope you have a great day. Bye bye.